All right.
You think I'd make it this far?
Final four.
No?
How do you feel? Joe, did you think you'd make it this far?
No, I thought Jamie would get me out.
You struck first. Anyone surprised that they made it this far? Not Brienne. Brienne feels pretty confident about this. Well, good. Let's put that confidence to the test. The final immunity challenge. First things first, Nick. Gotta take it back. Thank you. For the final time, individual immunity is up for grabs. With this on your neck, you decide who sits next to you. You are going to the final tribal, and you will pick who sits next to you, forcing the other two to make fire and earn their spots in the final tribal council. You guys ready to get to it?
Let's do it.
All right. You're each going to take a cup of approximately the same amount of water and hold it over your head as long as you can. How's that? That's good. That's good. All right. Everyone's looking good, so I'll say this challenge is on. We're gonna move. Pick a foot and lift your foot.
You're moving!
Spills a little water, but he doesn't drop his cup.
I can do it.
Jeremy not touching the table. Very close to it, but not touching it. Jeremy hits the table and drops his cup. First one out of the challenge. Drops her cup. We're down to Nick and Joe. Nick's starting to move. Joe's starting to move. Joe, think about your kids. Who are you fighting for? Who are you playing this game for?
Shoulder sure is tired.
every limb on his body moving in some direction. Can he keep his cup straight? Not showing any signs of pain, but could very well be in a lot of pain. Barber starts hopping. Barber's cup falls. Joe wins the last individual immunity.
Good game. Man, you're shaking. That was
You won.
Joe, come on over. Joe wins the last individual immunity. You will be at the final tribal council. You will choose who sits next to you and send the other two practice fire. I'll give you a minute to think about it, and we'll go do it. Sounds good?
It's good.
All right, Nick, Jeremy, and Brianne. Two of you will sit next to Joe. One of you will be the last member of the jury. We'll take a quick break. We'll find out who that's going to be. Head out.
Good job, Joe.
All right.
Dude, let me see your big toe. No, his big toe's weirder than mine.
So,
My big toe?
Hey, you don't have to.
I got nice feet.
final time to pick someone to sit with you. So here we are, the last gathering before the final tribal council. Joe, clearly a lot of weight rested on you. You want to face your tribe mates and tell us who are you going to take to sit next to you at the final tribal council?
I'm gonna take my number one, Brianne.
Brianne. So, Brianne, you are safe. You will be at the final tribal. You will get a chance to receive votes to be the winner, which means Jeremy and Nick, you two are going to be making fire. So, I have goodie bags for each of you. It is your kindling and your burnage.
Yeah.
Alright. Survivors ready?
Ready.
Go! Jeremy, get a nice pile of pine needles. Harper's pile is a little scattered. Attempting to make sparks now. A little smoke coming from Carver. He's trying to nurse it. Oh No smoke coming from Jeremy yet, but no flame for either. Carver going back in for more kindling. Smoke coming from Jeremy.
I don't know how this works.
Jeremy and Nick starting a straight magnesium. Barber figuring it out. Jeremy's back to striking. More magnesium for Jeremy.
Oh, my thing is locking up.
Wouldn't that be weird? I doubt it. I think it's just
I got it.
Jeremy trying to get a new grip using a stick and his striker together. More smoke coming from Carver's side. Jeremy's got a nice bed of kindling. Some sparks are starting to stay on Jeremy's side. Carver's nest of needles and twine thrown about. Not even a baby bird can survive in there. And being out here for one day, you should both know how to make fire. It is an integral part of your survival. The rest of you making sparks, but nothing's catching. Jeremy's side.
Thank you. Nick, this paper.
See who's going to use their paper most effectively. Nick making little scraps, Jeremy balling his paper all up. Carver assembling a contraption while Jeremy furiously scrapes magnesium. No fire yet.
This cup challenge is now coming into play.
Carver's got his paper to burn. Is it enough? Can he nurture it? It'll burn, but it won't last long enough to get his twine. Carver moves to kindling. Can he keep it going long enough to make a structure?
Oh no, you're good.
Carver's flame gets higher. He just throws sticks on, making a log cabin of sorts. Jeremy yet to get fire.
Can I steal this fire?
Carver using all of his large logs first. Ball or move. If he can't keep his flame alive underneath, it won't mean anything. Jeremy moves to ripping up his paper into scraps. It worked for Carver. Will it work for Jeremy? Did lick the rope. Heat starting to rise on Carver's rope. Burn marks start appearing.
Oh,
Getting
yeah.
higher. It's reaching the rope. Is this the end for Jeremy? The fire. Jeremy and Nick, that was a really tough fire-making battle. Jeremy, how are you feeling right now?
My hands hurt so much. Nick deserved that one.
Nick, how do you feel coming into this, only making fire with kerosene and a lighter, moving out the Eagle Scout with a flint?
I don't think we could have done it without the toilet paper. Definitely felt the hand cramps after the cup challenge. It was just luck.
After quite a long time, Jeremy, you fought your hardest, you played your best, you become the final member of the jury.
I get the front steel for more.
Only if Carver does it. Jeremy, tribe has spoken. Time to go. All right, final three, Joe, Nick, and Brienne. You made it this far. You've made it as far as you can make it in this game. Now is your chance to plead your case and answer the jury's questions. Power rests on you to decide who is worthy, playing the social game the best, and worthy of the title of Sole Survivor. Justin, you're up first.
So for each one of you, why should we vote for you?
I stayed loyal the entire time. I tried my hardest with everything that I did. I didn't give up. I think made the right decisions when I needed to make the right decisions. I wanted immunity. I think making the right decisions at the right time is why I think I should.
Okay. At the beginning, I played a pretty quiet game, but I stayed loyal to my tribe. I don't think anyone expected me to be up here. There were some people playing powerful moves, but I think after the votes went out, and maybe I told someone I was voting one way and not another, that I always had a reason for it, and I think they understood why I did.
For me, I think playing at the forefront and having those large targets and being able to survive, I think it's kind of an all or nothing type of game. It's not like once you're out in front of everybody, you can just immediately seat back. So for me, it was I had to play hard and win challenges when I needed to, find things when I needed to, continue to look for idols. Even when I had the idol, I was still being do we need to look for it? I held on to it for such a long time. I was like, no one's looking for the idols. We should be looking for them, and trying to sway people into trying to take the target off of me, but it wasn't working all that well. So I was like, all right, I just have to lean into it, I guess. Like I said, I'm super loyal. I caught social cues too. So when I got the advantage, which I did have, I read through the whole thing in an attempt to see what people's reactions would be when I read it, that I would be safe if I had bet on the right person to get immunity. I don't know if you knew that, but I was there. So basically, if I chose whoever won the immunity or the challenge, then I got immunity as well. And as I read through that, I saw a lot of nervousness on Kyle and on Jeremy, so that led me to playing my idol. So it was I didn't have an immunity at that point from that advantage, but through their responses, I was able to know that I needed to play it at that time.
Well, I appreciate y'all.
Jonathan.
This question is for Joe, Brienne. Why'd you pop my balloons?
I popped your balloon because you popped mine first.
I considered you a threat. And so I wanted to take you out because of that.
Carver, do you have any compliments for me? I'm just wondering.
I'm just glad that we played up to the last 2 people in our tribe. I knew that we were going to be together regardless, so.
My question is going to be for Nick and Brienne. Joe is obviously in the driver's seat for the majority of the game. So convince me that you're not just here because Joe let you be here.
I think a lot of it was at first me, you, and Jeremy discussing things. Y'all turned on him earlier than I thought we should have, which I think is what led to this. I think I was in the driver's seat a little bit more towards the beginning. Then y'all threw a wrench in it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to survive now.
There was one key moment today that I felt like I took charge. It was right after the dice challenge. I had immunity. Joe was on the fritz. He was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
We come to an agreement, like, all right, what if we take either Jeremy or Kyle out? And it's like, okay, I'm thinking in my head, if he doesn't win the next challenge, he's gonna have the target on his back again. So that might be a risk I'm willing to take if I don't have him there at the finals. If I can get rid of one of you all, who's a bigger threat. If you were sitting right here where I am.
Can I respond to the leader thing? Like, I do think that I let others make decisions, but part of that was like, am I okay with the results that would happen? Like, a lot of it was making sure, like, even though I wasn't telling people what to do, I wasn't a dictator with that. I was like, okay, I'm good with them coming to this decision because it's the same one I would have come to as well. So, yeah, I mean, if it had gone differently, I probably would have pushed in a different direction, but I was ultimately happy with the way that we turned things.
Well, 2 of you are on my team, and I was voted out first. And 2 of you told me to vote for different people, and then 1 of you voted me out. I want to know why. Loyalty, you talked about loyalty.
I know.
Loyal.
So here's the thing.
Other girl, feel no women support here.
I know, Emily. I get all of it. At first, when Joe and I had talked, it had been like, okay, we've got to make it to where the couples can stay together and then just take everybody out. And then it hit me when if Joe and Jamie make it to the merge together, and if they join forces, that will be really tricky for us. Little did I know they would act like they didn't even know each other when we merged. And so we were good. But after having that discussion with him and then talking with Kyle and Jeremy, I thought what was probably gonna be best for me was going with them, making Joe feel safe so that we could win challenges, and then taking him out when we do not need him anymore. But it didn't work out that way.
Okay. So, Joe, you had 2 immunities. If you had to give one of them to one of the other 2, who would it be and why?
The other 2 here?
Yes.
Like my hidden immunity idol?
Yeah.
If I had had enough time, I think I would have showed Carver my immunity and try and convince him to vote Brienne and then give it to Brienne and then vote out either Kyle or Jeremy at that moment to make a bigger move than just potentially saving myself. To me, like, the loyalty was like such a stronger part of the game that I ended up deciding not to do that. But if I had to give one away, that's what I would have done.
Brian, I feel like Joe and Nick have played good games, but different ways. Nick has won or come in second in a lot of challenges, and I've been very impressed with that. Joe has played a different game and seemed to have controlled his destiny a little bit. Who do you think is more deserving to be in this spot, Nick or Joe?
The fact that you are here frustrates me because it should have been Corvettes to the end. So I'm impressed that you are here despite that. And Joe finding the things he needed to find and then winning that final immunity challenge, I'd probably say Joe.
As we all know, the Survivor motto is outwit, outplay, outlast. And I feel like the 3 of you embody 1/3 of those in the way that you played. So, Brienne, I see you as an outwitter. I think you were seeing what was happening in social situations. When Jeremy and Joe both played their idols, you were the sole vote that decided that Kyle went home, if I'm not mistaken. and so you had a pulse on that. Carver, you outlasted the rest of your tribe. You won immunity when you needed it. You made fire when you needed it. You outlasted very well. And Joe, you outplayed. You won immunities. You found advantages. You played all of those pieces of the game. So I'd like each of you to tell me, besides the one that I listed for you, what's a way that you embodied one of the other or both of the other 3 pillars of the game?
I outlasted, I think, by trying to steer the conversation rather than be steered by the conversation.
You said that I outlasted because I was the last one on the tribe, but I think it's just because I didn't put the target on my back because I wasn't the one making the big moves like you were, but also knew what was going on for the most part, and didn't feel bad in any kind of situation like, oh, I'm in trouble.
On the outwit side, I think a fair amount of strategy went into how I played my immunity and my advantage. Like, I could have kept my advantage secret, but I think like what I said of like, I'm gonna read this and like really look at the body language and like use that deception of like me potentially having immunity, because I didn't tell anybody about my hidden immunity. I didn't tell
I wondered
anybody.
why you were staring at us so deeply.
Yeah, I was like looking at it and like trying to get a gauge of like, if you choose correctly, you will have immunity. And Jeff even said, he was like, you don't have to read it if you don't win. And I was like, okay. And so then I started thinking about it at that point of like, how could I use nothing to my advantage? Which I think is like part of the outwit side. I almost played my immunity idol the first tribal because I was like, or the first merge tribal because I was like, you know, we're merged now, I'm an obvious threat. Do I hold on to it? Do I keep it? Do I play it? I would hate to go home with it. But I was able to like use the social side of my game, in this case Brienne, and some of our others of like, okay, we have the numbers, let's stay strong together, let's like be honest with each other, and I think that helped me outlast when saving that for a later use when I was able to outwit and outlast and like use that to my advantage at the same time.
Jeremy, close us out.
Hey, you guys. Congratulations. I feel like all 3 of y'all deserve to be right here. I would like to talk about loyalty, and we can discuss how loyal you all 3 were to me and Kyle specifically. That's not my question. I want you to think about that as we're voting. But my question is, what do you think is going to hurt you the most in this game while we're voting for you? What is like the best reason for us not to vote for you?
Just not finding as many idols, so not really being able to do as much with that. I looked a lot. I looked before I started telling you guys to look. I was searching.
I think it's because we already found it.
I know, y'all are like, I went to the bathroom and I looked up and it was there, and I'm like, I'm under the highways and the hedges trying to find these.
It was so hard to lie to your face and to Kyle's face, saying that, yeah, we're on board with that plan. It's like, and then like whispering what wording with my mouth what you wanted to hear.
I mean, I trusted you with my life as I wrote down. So
Yeah,
I
survived
survived
a
all
little
of
bit.
it.
And that has consequences. Like, we know each other coming into this. So.
For me, I think what will hurt my game the most might be jury management. I think you and Kyle are disappointed in me and how things shook out in the end, potentially.
Not necessarily.
And having the other tribe be there. So I feel like the other tribe is like voting for Nick, or like feeling good about Nick because they're the last one from their tribe. I also think I tend to play too hard and take it too seriously, so I feel like that might be going against me.
All right, finalists, jury, thank you so much. Right now, we're about to vote for a winner. This is your final vote. If we're ready, Justin, we'll start with you.
that looked pretty cool, right? Yeah. I'll take that as a yes.
It was after that though. Then you switched.
All right, Jerry,
Man,
finalists
all the votes are cast.
in my hands.
Game's over.
I have the votes. Let's get to it. First vote, Joe. Nick. Joe. 2 votes Joe, 1 vote Nick. Nick. 2 votes Joe, 2 votes Nick. Joe. 3 votes Joe, 2 votes Nick.
That's the part. I think it's Jeremy does that every time.
Nick.
Oh.
That's 3 votes Joe, 3 votes Nick, 1 vote left. All comes down to this. The winner of Survivor Bowling Green, Joe.
We're going to Disneyland!
Where's the bubbles? Where's the girls in the bubbles? Now it's so funny. Oh wait, actually. I know. I was like,
So honestly,
right.
even more fun than
On the honeymoon, just looking on the couch.
couch.
Congratulations, dude. Played a great game.
I have to go with loyalty. I like how he played the game. Team Hilltopper.
We were enemies the entire game, but I have mad respect for you. Congratulations.
You didn't have my vote before Tribal Council, Final Tribal, but you explained your game, and I think you played all pillars of the game well. Congrats.
Hey, this is Jason. I played Jeff in Survivor Bowling Green. Thank you so much to all my friends who, without their tireless efforts, this could not have happened. Thank you so much to the Westfall family for operating behind the scenes and making everything run smooth. Thank you to the Stevenson family for opening up their home. And thank you to all the parents who were multitasking the whole time and playing Survivor while also still being parents. Thank you to Jeremy Jones, who did the thumbnail art and made the Survivor Bowling Green logo. Be sure to check him and his brother Jonathan out on their podcast, Inside Quotes, on Spotify and Apple Music. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had a good time.